Morning. Welcome to the opening bell, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ashley Reeve. This, is a really good time to be in the markets. It is exactly 9 a.m., 4th of March. Before we get started, Jules, everything all right? Can you hear me? Let's see. Houdini, is everything all right on your side there? Let me know before we get started. Remember, guys, all the information we will be discussing in this video is opinion and should not be construed as advice in any way. All right? Jules, all good? Is it all good there? Maybe let me know real quickly before we do get started here. All right. So, guys, what's the big picture here? What's driving the markets at midweek? All right, it's the ongoing Middle East war, the oil supply disruptions. We're getting the rising energy prices, which is obviously leading to inflation risks. There's a lot of delayed U.S. rate cut expectations. And what this means for investors really is, the dollar remains, strong. Oil stays elevated unless those tensions ease and the inflation concerns are rising again. So volatility is likely to continue. That's what we want to see here. Now, obviously, coming, during midweek, we're seeing that there is still a beautiful push on the dollar. We're seeing a bit of a pullback at this point in time. You can see that I have the Euro USD, the NZD USD, and the GBP USD on point here. You can see that from the Euro USD side, we've had that drop that we had pushed up, went on about on Monday with the dollar strengthening. And we're seeing a bit of a support now being shown here for a possible correction to the upside. In fact, I'm already in the NZD USD already for that correction. Now, that correction is only going to span at least now about 50 pips or so, at least, for us to, get something out from an intraday perspective. All right, that is what is happening on the NZD USD. Now, just so you do know, guys, that from a U.S. market perspective, with the dollar strengthening, the U.S. futures are slightly lower. That's the NAS 100. That is the S&P, all of the stock market, or at least the stocks. And then why would that happen, guys? Remember, it's the concerns that oil price is higher. That slows the growth. Because as you do know, guys, you're going to spend more money to get imports, from countries that is obviously manufacturing. And for them to be on point, they also need to buy oil at a higher price. So if they're buying oil at a higher price, it means they're going to sell it at a higher price, and that's going to become a bit of a challenge there for some of the companies. And this is giving slow growth. Now, what's also important is the inflation worries. It's complicating the Federal Reserve cuts. And the impact really is the 2 rate cuts are still expected this year, but the timing is pushed now to September. So we're really seeing the Euro USD then pushed to the upside. I've got some moving averages on here, guys. I got the 7, the 14, and the 21. They're acting as, guidance on whether the short term is taking place or the short term correction. And more so importantly, guys, from an education tip, what we do teach our guys, what we do teach them is, use as many tools as possible to actually create what you need to actually make some money. All right. Now, these moving averages here is very specific and very quickly. We got the 14-day and the 21 day. They're all exponential, by the way, if you're going to ask. When you have the 14, which is the blue one, you can actually take off the 7 here. Once that 14 crosses above the 21, that acts as a guide to many of the guys, to see that, listen, we are now pushing up. All right, we are now pushing up. Obviously, I also have the RSI. So there's quite a few things that we are doing. We're not just using moving averages. You got to consider the time frame that you're using. You got to consider whether an asset is overbought and oversold. and where it's actually closing in that specific oversold or overbought area. Now, in this particular case, we have the price at 1.16142 on the RSI. We're waiting for the price, or at least a close above the 1.16142 on the Euro USD, but we're also waiting for the cross above the 21-day, or at least the 21 period rather, to actually come through as well. All right, and once that is done, we will then look for an entry. I've already found something here on the NZD USD. You can see there's a little arrow, so I'm in a little bit of profits here now. That's about 40 pips to the upside that I'm looking for. And also, don't forget, guys, this is just a pullback that we're experiencing now. From the New Zealand dollar perspective, the ongoing Middle East conflict is obviously keeping investors cautious. Oil prices are rising, and you know that New Zealand imports most of its oil. So the Reserve Bank of New Zealand, also kept those rates unchanged and signaled no urgency to hike. So that means the Kiwi remains weak. Markets see a very low chance of a rate hike before December, and higher fuel costs could pressure that, the economy. So this is not the New Zealand dollar strengthening against the dollar holistically. This is just a pullback from a US dollar strength run that happened already. So if you put on a 1 hour time frame, you're going to see this was yesterday, the 3rd, and then obviously we had the 2nd of March. That was on Monday. We saw the dollar strengthen 2 days straight. All right, 2 days straight. And now we're seeing a bit of a correction come in. So that's what Ash is trading here. Just a correction to the upside, a quick 40 pips or so, between, let's say, between 49 and 53 pips. And I'm doing exactly the same thing here for GBP USD. All right, the same context. 2 straight runs for the dollar, 2 days straight, and now a possible correction to the upside, just over 50 pips as well. All right, same with the Euro USD. So, at this point in time, guys, we're still seeing the oil elevated. We're seeing the gas price still elevated. And it's important for us to note that. You can obviously check out, some of the other pairs as well. If I can just go to the gold price real quickly so you can see what's actually happening there. Let me just go to that gold price. You can always get it on the market watch as well. All right, on the market watch. So the gold price at this point is also a great signal. We're seeing some corrections come in here as well. So that's obviously giving us a great indication of what's happening at this point. We just need a little bit more follow through here. All right, so let's quickly just analyze the gold price. We're seeing the dollar strengthen, like I said, for 2 days straight. We had the first push to the downside over there. There's the second push, and now we're looking for a bit of a correction. So if I drop down, we're seeing a little bit of support that is being held here. All right, let's just see if we can see something better. There we go. So here we're seeing a bit of support at this area here, right there. And there is definitely, a lot of divergence happening here. So if we do push back, we're looking to possibly go back to the 5329 area. Now, just to look at we are really pushing up nicely here now. We've already gone above into the medium term. Seems to be the case. So let me just find a zone just to give you guys so you can see what's actually happening here. So on the 20, right here, 53. All right, so here we go, right there. That's the areas between 5160, all right, 5160.11 to 5329. And not only that, just so you do know, what has happened is you can see that price has already broken through and has moved away from the support. And Ash, what do you mean by moved away from the support? Well, look at this. So it's moved away right there already. It's already moved away. Look at this. It's moved away. So what we're essentially looking for is a 1 hour to be closing above that area. But we also need the 14 period to be closing above the 21 period. So I can see that the 20-minute is not provided that, the 30-minute is not provided, only the 15-minute has provided that. So we would need the 20 or the 30-minute time frame at least to be closing above that zone there. At this point in time, anything could happen. even although all the points is showing us that there is some upside. Are we together? And that's very, very, very important. We can see the upside right there. It's so clear here that this is a structure to the upside. So we just need a little bit more follow through here now, and then we push to about 5329. But in the meantime, guys, NZD USD, I'm in there. I'm waiting for Euro USD, and I'm waiting for GBP USD as well, which is seeing a bit of corrections happening here midweek. All right, that's it. From a update, we had a stronger dollar Monday, coming down Monday and Tuesday, with Wednesday midweek getting a bit of a correction, a specific short-term impulse to the upside. And then really don't forget, we have the NFP on Friday. So we are anticipating the dollar to continue its strength, towards the latter part of the week. But we have to wait, obviously, for that. All right, let's wait for that. Let's see how it goes. And I think it's going to be a very important one for us, especially with the inflation pushing to the upside. Remember, guys, those rate cuts cannot come if the inflation moves up. So if inflation moves up, that means that there's more spending, and this could be good for the dollar, which means that if the inflation is going up, they need to hire more workers, more spending, higher inflation, strong and strength for the dollar. That's what we're looking at this moment in time, midweek, in our opening bell. Let's see how it goes, guys. But it's really, really good, good to be with you. King, I see you there. Transfer, I see you there. I hope the sound was much better this morning here. I know it was brilliant yesterday with T. I hope you guys heard the midweek update here, guys. Big apologies there for Monday. Once again, some of the technical glitches do occur from time to time. All right, but have a good one. I'll see you guys very soon. All right, it is the midweek update here on the opening bell. I'm Ashley Reeve, you guys, and it is an absolute pleasure being with you. If you'd like to open an account with us, don't forget www.tdmarkets.com. You can also email us at care@tdmarkets.com. Have a good one there, King. I see you there, man. Thank you very much. Same to you. All right. Have a good one. All right. Ciao, ciao now.